To the March 4th, 2019 meeting of the Weare Board of Selectmen. We'll start with Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. We're going to go to public comment. There's nobody here. We're going to go to department head committee items. There's no department heads here. We're going to go to the meeting minutes of.
And you only have the 11th. I just
Okay.
gave you the 25th.
Okay, so let's table the 25th.
I didn't get a chance to get them out today. She got them to me, but I didn't get them out. It's typical Monday.
She was giving you the evil eye there for
No,
a
it's
minute.
not the evil eye. It's the relieved eye.
Last week she panicked.
So the 11th.
It's the relieved eye.
I think these are right here. Nope, that's the payroll manifest.
2/11.
That's not what I was looking for. That's what I was looking for. Okay, we will, all right. Page 1.
Hi.
Anything on page 1?
Yes.
You guys already skipped through public comments?
We did.
Nobody's here.
Yeah.
Am I going back? Nope.
Guess the board has spoken.
I will be back with a vengeance next week then.
Okay, page 1 at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
The concern with the foxes, I think, should be FOX apostrophe S.
I believe you're right.
Actually, it's in a couple of places, and then I think the foxes is okay in other places. So the same thing on page 2, so if you go in and just,
Okay, do it all.
what's that?
Yeah. FOX.
Should be apostrophe S.
Yes.
No, it shouldn't. Because it's not possessive. It's
Yes, it is possessive.
plural.
If it's
That's the name, though. It's not.
Fox's septic tank, it's
Yes.
possessing the,
They,
That's how you pluralize something with an X.
I'm
But
not
it's-
an
but-
English major,
but it's a
so I can't
name.
tell you.
Yes,
yes.
so I don't think you put an ES, would you?
you would, in the case of an X.
Well, I looked it up in here, and it's right. I mean, what I said is. What do you- Fox's building permit, it's their building permit.
In that case, we're,
And there's,
On the first page, and then it's their
Fox's
septic
plural-
tank.
Plural, is the plural possessive,
is ES.
yes. With the apostrophe after it.
Well, no apostrophe on this one,
It's
halfway
different
down the
places.
page.
Oh, that's because it's just plural. It's not plural.
Well,
I can review it, but I'm
Yeah.
almost positive that's correct.
Because it sounds like foxes,
Yes,
like outside foxes.
Like four-legged creatures.
but that's their name. That's how you pluralize their name also.
Well,
I mean, I know
the
you-
fox's den is written without an apostrophe here, if it's foxes, but you're talking plural foxes. But
Plural
this is a
possessive would
person's
have an
name.
apostrophe. Yep,
All right, well,
I can review it. I know it's not pretty,
Okay.
but that's what it is.
looks awful.
Looks awful.
Oh, if that's our
I would
only
have put
worry,
apostrophe S. But
That's our
whatever.
only worry.
Well, that's the only one, isn't it?
let's see.
So far.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th line down, it starts with foxes. Go into about the middle, it should be alteration to their property instead of alternation. And then I don't think I see anything else on that page other than the foxes things.
All right. Anything else on page 2? 3?
I didn't have anything else.
4?
Nope.
Move to approve the February 11th meeting minutes as amended.
Second.
All in favor?
I abstain.
You weren't here.
Okay.
That's right. All right.
I thought it was over the ES.
All right, manifest.
We'll do next time.
I move to order the treasurer to sign the payroll accounts payables checks dated March 7th, 2019, as included in the following manifest. Payroll manifest of $61,658.40, and accounts payable manifest of $105,839.15, and a supplemental accounts payable manifest of $9,868.34, for a total of $177,300. $365.89. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Abstention.
There's too many
I only want
cords.
to check something before I sign.
Okay.
Before I-
Is there enough signatures?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I think we should, let's do the government building one first. We'll get that one down through.
What are we doing?
I called Walker Roofing and I emailed requesting an update on the status of the spires and the schedule. No reply either way, either from phone or from email. I'll try again and resend it tomorrow. It rang for an awful long time and then it got forwarded somewhere else and it rang for an awful long time
Wonder
before a
if they're
message
out of-
occurred.
Maybe
I don't know how much snow they got, but
Maybe
I
they're
know
on a
some of the
2-week
north
breakdown.
countries got some awful amounts of snow, but, last week, I said I would, and I'll make another follow-up again. I guess the squeaky wheel will get the grease, hopefully. The gazebo, I reached out, cause we're about 4 weeks away from the, April 1st deadline. So I reached out to Neil and, he emailed me back and said, I'm getting at least 2 estimates, one from Mike Pelletier and the other one from Paul Moran. Actually, his longtime carpenter employee whom Paul asked to prepare it for me. I asked each to have the estimate to me around March 7th, which would give me time to contact you and get on the agenda before April 1st. So as of today, March 4th, I'm awaiting the estimates. I'll contact you as soon as I have them in hand. Denise Purington is working on one from a new Boston contractor, but she's traveling with Bruce, and although she said she would have access to the email, and although I've emailed her several times, I haven't heard back. I hope this helps. So that's kind of where they are. I'm assuming that they'll get them sooner or later. He is aware of the April 1st deadline. So let's hop down to my favorite subject of the safety complex. I'm sorry, the security camera
At the safety
at the
complex.
safety complex. I'm really at a loss on what we do. We haven't, this reply was, we'd review the project and offer our bid price, but we can't go and investigate another vendor's job. That's the common response that I'm getting.
Which is,
So
The
my
ethical
question is, because I do have a manifest to pay him, PASIC, because according to what he did and what we asked him to do with the contract that we signed, he has installed it. The integration part has not happened. So I guess he did the job in December and he billed us in February and he's been inquiring since.
But nothing works. Nothing works over there.
No, and I guess I spent a good share of the day this goes back to 16, for any of you that's been around that long.
Yep.
Okay, and you remember the whole, we had, in 16, we put it out and we got 3. And we awarded it to a company. Then Laura said, he said, this isn't what I would install, even though it's what I bid on. And he offered a different solution that would work. And Laura's opinion was that he had to withdraw so that we could re-put it back out, because the other 2 wouldn't have the same opportunity to do what he did. So we followed that advice, boom, we sent it out the door. Then there was an email back in June, I only got part of it, that evidently we then took information we received from an RFP that was sent out for Durham, I'm guessing, and asked Tom, our IT guy, if he could make heads or tails of it, because we couldn't find anybody that would do it that didn't want to bid on it. So we provided him kind of some basics, and he put together this here, based on that, which we put it out for 3 more people. And we told him that it had to be done by December 31st, which he installed. And then, from there, everything gets installed, and I'm not sure from there. I'm kind of foggy as to where we go from there.
Our IT person installed this system?
No, didn't install it. Our IT person created the proposal.
Oh, okay.
We got 3 bids, remember? One, he said only met the specs, the other 2 didn't, but I called back one, got the answers. I have the email that we were provided. He installed it. Then, I'm a little foggy where we fell off the rail, but I was gonna sneeze. All of a sudden, we need a whole bunch more things to be able to integrate it. And that's where I'm lost a little bit. Because after everything got installed, there was an email from the gentleman that installed it to Sean. And it just said it had been determined that the planned Wi-Fi mini computers that were discussed are not equipped to handle the Hanwha viewing application, which is the Hanwha is the name of the new
Software.
camera software. And then he said, I prepared this quote, which includes running cable to the 8 existing monitors, locations, and equipment that will distribute a common signal to each. So the way this would work is all 8 of the monitors would see the same 5x5 view, which is 25 cameras. The view can be changed, but all the monitors would,
No, not 25 cameras.
it's just
5 by
25 camera view.
It may have that capability, but I don't think we're gonna have that many
You got-
total.
No, it says it's just a 25, it would be the same as a 5x5, so there's 25 camera views. I don't think we have that.
Oh, 25.
Camera view.
Camera
views.
views,
Yeah,
yeah,
up
sorry,
to.
I'm sorry. It said the view can be changed, but all the monitors would always see the same thing. Hang on. And then it says, the benefit to this arrangement over what you have now is that the resolution of the images would be high definition. Right now, they're all low resolution analog video signals.
Because of the cabling.
The new monitors are expansive compared to what a consumer, expansive, it should be expensive, I think, anyway, to what a consumer would be used to seeing, because they're commercial grade units with metal casing and designed to run 24/7, and they come with a 3-year warranty. If you have any questions, call me. So he provided a quote for 5. This is where I lose it. I can't find an email track to get me to this point. This is, because I guess I wasn't part of it. But this quote is for 1 transmitter and 8 extenders, which is the 8 cameras that we evidently have. And then the 5 43-inch full HD monitors. Now, that's a big monitor. This
What do
5.
they need a 43-inch monitor?
What do they need 5 of them for?
Oh, they get,
And then 5 articulating wall mounts, cable,
Yeah, that seems a
and
little
that's
much.
14,571.79.
They
I think we're
really.
getting,
Oh.
And then, I'm not sure if this was an alternative plan, because this is for 8 mini processors. Is that mini processors, the computer's gonna be at each camera, and then this? See, that's what, I mean, I don't understand it. So this is my thought, okay, before we get even into this part. First of all, what he did and installed is done. There's not much I can do about it. He's done his work according to the contract. He put in what he said he was going to. Part of it doesn't comply. I mean, it doesn't integrate, which it was going to.
Right.
Why doesn't it integrate? I don't know. But
We shouldn't.
but we shouldn't allow him, think back, somebody else was gonna change his bid by doing some other things. I don't think we can just take that one. You'd have to re-put it out to bid.
yeah.
Yeah, but we shouldn't be paying that guy if nothing's working.
But he did what it was supposed to.
Well, I thought he was
But
supposed to make
didn't
it so
he answer you back saying it would integrate? That's what I thought that the emails sent back before.
Yeah, he did say that, but I'm not sure, he's the installer. I mean, I don't know who came and looked at anything.
Well, I would think if he's installing it, he must have had
Well, I'm
somebody
just saying, I mean,
from his team.
we said we would pay him with 30 days upon completion, so
But it's not working.
It's not complete.
It's
But
not
he's
working.
installed.
what he installed is
But
complete.
it's installed. He's installed
He's
according to his
installed
bid.
$10,000 worth of stuff.
But he told
But
us that it
it's
was gonna
not a
work.
working system.
It works.
Oh.
It just doesn't
the cameras
integrate with
work,
your
and
old
you can
eight.
and you can watch the stuff on the cameras, on the screens. But part of
You
the
can?
yeah, when I was down there, you could see some of it. But part of the integration is it's supposed to be able to
All
be
of them
shipped
together.
all together and shipped to Goffstown. So Goffstown could go online and look at it live as a live feed,
So that's the part that doesn't work.
and I don't believe that's working.
See, because, yeah, I mean, I don't know, I mean, I'm not pushing for either way. I mean, he installed what he said he would install. I do know what you're saying, that he said it would integrate, but I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, other
Did he
than,
put it in writing that it would integrate? That's, well,
yeah, he answered the question.
yeah.
But Laura came back and said, without finding out, having a way of finding out who's at fault, what do we do?
We have to find somebody that's,
Who do you find, though? There isn't a soul out there, either in IT or one of these 6 guys that
Well, I think you
bid
need,
on it that wants to say anything bad about each
you
other.
probably need somebody
Me.
a little more than an IT person.
Is there
because
anybody
They don't
that-
have a,
somebody I can go to, who works for the state, does the IT cameras.
Okay, but I'm just saying, he
I'll
did
go
his
see
job
them.
in December, it's
cameras?
3 months later, I don't wanna see a lawyer letter arrive, because he
No.
did his job, but
Mm.
I think, I mean, here we go. We've got stuff that we spent $10,000 on, it doesn't work, I totally agree.
if you want to give me a copy of that stuff, I'll run it by somebody.
I get somebody
He's
who
got
works,
somebody
I
that-
get somebody who works for the state that does that, with the cameras.
I mean, vendor against vendor, they won't
He's
do.
not a vendor, so he's not gonna
Yeah, he's neutral party.
neutral
Right.
party, so.
And most all the vendors won't say anything because they're in the same boat.
It's like a
Right.
lawyer.
Which I can't say as I blame them. I mean, it is what it is, I
Yeah.
guess. But my thing is again, we wrote an RFP, and at the end of the day, the intent of the RFP was that we were gonna have a working system, and we don't.
No.
Right.
Right.
You know, right, wrong, or indifferent, and no matter what the mechanics were within it,
Yeah.
at the end of that RFP, it was we were gonna have a working system, and we don't.
And especially where she asked the correct questions. And Naomi, if you don't mind, can you make a packet for,
I'm not gonna make these whole
Well,
emails
no, no,
because
no.
it's like 75 pages of email that a lot
well,
of
whatever
my
these two
duplicates.
need to
Well, I don't know,
have.
what are you looking for?
Jack?
Jack, what do you think you need to,
I wanna know what the specs are and whether or not
I
we
can
can
give you
turn
the
them,
specs
and
and
what
I
we
can
had for
give
the
you
specs.
what he
And
installed.
and what he
And
turned
then
around.
I can give you, I mean, this is, honestly, this is so much
way.
minutia because it's a lot of same emails.
I know
Right.
somebody that does that, does the camera work for the state.
Right,
yeah.
I guess.
but
you know, I
let Sherry
think-
follow up and you follow up and see if you can, either one of you can get it done. Because we don't have time to kill. If you ask the
No.
person
No,
and they
because what's
can't do
gonna
it.
happen is it's
Now, I'm
gonna
not
be.
gonna
all-
ask him to
it's-
do it, I'm gonna give it to him and say, what are the ins and outs? He's not gonna come here and look at it, but he'll
Oh.
read the whole spec and give it to me.
And see if he thinks
Sherry, what
it's-
is your
And
person
see if
gonna
he
do?
thinks what the issue
I'm
is.
not sure, but you probably can take a look and know pretty quickly what the issue is, especially if you wanted to take some time to take a quick look.
Okay. Because we don't have time, that's all
No,
I'm
and if
saying.
we
know
have to
that.
do something more, I mean, here
Right.
we
he
are
will-
3 months later,
He
you're
can
gonna
look
have to
at
put it back
it, he
out
can
to
look
bid.
at it, tell me in
I don't
probably
think,
about
I
20
don't
minutes.
think you
what-
could
You don't-
take
you
the
don't-
new quote,
Yeah.
because it's not fair to the other guys.
No, absolutely not.
Just
Absolutely
like it
not.
was said before to us,
No.
you have to ask him, I mean.
It's gotta be
but-
re-quoted.
But how do we do this? He's already done this part of it. That would be another situation.
But has he? That's my
I
biggest
don't know
question.
if
See,
he's
I don't
done
feel-
what he's supposed to do. That's the problem, and
Well, if
and
we've
I'm
got all
not
the stuff
sure if
installed.
he's done the right wiring, because you do not have, you stated you did not have high definition, so you haven't got the right, probably right cabling over there.
He did Cat 6 23-4P
Yeah, Cat 6.
CPM Blue 1000.
Yeah. I think, you know,
Can I see the RFP?
This was the RFP, sure.
I just want to look
I
at
mean, I
it.
just need the basics, what he said he was gonna do, and stuff. I don't need 75 pages.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah, I
say, it's
don't-
all duplicate emails, like
you know,
you
some
said
of
to
it
try
he's
to-
telling you need a 43-inch monitor. I mean,
Yeah,
they're
I
getting
don't-
by with the monitors they got, and I think the monitors they got over there are probably 36.
I think they're 32s.
32s, I was gonna say, rough looking at them, and they put 4 pictures up at a time. They put 4,
No, didn't
I
he
mean,
say
if you
five?
get-
Five,
I mean,
five photos?
Yeah, I can, because here was his references. Manchester PD uses them.
Well, there's something going on
But
there.
don't forget, Manchester PD, when they put it in as new construction,
I know.
and they put it all in there, and they wired it
Elliott
all.
Health System, and then whoever Ropes and Gray was the other.
It's a big
Yeah.
law firm.
I can,
To me, we failed line 7. NVR to replace existing DVR must integrate with existing 16 analog cameras.
So you can't, you're not gonna make high definition if you got analog cameras.
But he said it could be done.
I don't think, if the camera quality isn't there, you can put up whatever.
Well, you could do it, but I mean, the thing is, that you're gonna get the same resolution whether you go HD or not, you know.
If you have an analog camera, you're not gonna get high definition.
No, you won't.
I don't care
But
what you
get-
put in for
You get standard
wiring.
resolution, so I mean, but it can be done.
No, it can't be done.
No, he can be done that he can turn around and put that into a monitor.
Yeah, it wouldn't be high definition cameras at the other 16, but there should be an image that comes up from
You
them.
should have a decent image, but you're not gonna have high definition.
Which is whatever, but again, must integrate with the existing 16 analog cameras.
no, does it say anything about us furnishing computers?
Nope. Says must include setup of software on 6 staff computers, operator training, and all the cables, connectors, interior and exterior mounting hardware.
Because it says client software will configure for viewing on 6 customer furnished computers, which
That's,
we have.
That-
that was
is
line
that one.
12 here.
Yeah.
Yep,
Training will be provided by a minimum of 6 customer staff.
yep, that's on here.
Cost of support through calendar years 18 and 19 will be covered by 5-year warranty.
Yep,
1 year on parts, labor warranty.
yep.
We acknowledge that work including software, hardware, and testing will be completed by December 31st, which is the bottom line.
Line 18.
We will require 110 VAC power and a network connection to be provided by others, which was our IT,
Mm-hmm.
at the video recorder location. PASIC will run all cable, provide system programming, and install all devices. And then he lists all his devices.
On that invoice, not the quote, but on the invoice, did we get billed for an NVR?
Yeah. Gonna find where I've got everything. Is that what, yeah, 4K network video recorder, 12 TB, terabyte.
Did that get installed? We got it, we bought it, did it get installed?
Don't know.
I'd have to, and then we got a 16-channel encoder.
That must be for the other ones.
Then there's 5,
That must be for the analog camera encoder.
8 camera. There's 8 cameras, and then all the cable I talked about. And then service labor is $30,780. The rest is supplies. So I haven't looked at the system, to be honest with you. I'm just trying to do something here, because it's crazy. Because here we are 3 months out now since he's installed it. Almost.
And
Then it doesn't work. Or, I shouldn't say, it probably works by itself.
It doesn't, but it doesn't do
It
what
doesn't integrate.
It doesn't integrate, doesn't do what it's supposed to.
So, this and this is what you guys want copies of?
I
And
guess
then we'll
so.
go from there?
Yep.
Okay,
Well, that's
and we'll
fine.
hold off on that. And if somebody can give me an answer, I'll be thrilled to pieces.
Hmm.
I just wrap everything into that folder. So, we'll wait on that one. I'll get you guys that before I leave. Don't let me forget. So you all have to help. The roof leak, go down to 14. I spoke to Tony today from Turnstone. I didn't get a chance to talk to Benji at all. When I called, he was out in the sand pile screening sand, so I didn't get to talk to anybody. They've called the installer a second time because they were supposed to be here last week and didn't. And according to him, and through Benji is what he told me, and I didn't talk to Benji because I couldn't confirm this, that it appears to be a problem when there's snow load on the roof. So that's why he wants to get out here this Thursday. So
Some
he's
movement.
supposed to bring the installer out to meet Benji Thursday or Friday.
What's really
Look at the
funny,
roof.
though, is that we don't have much snow load on the roofs.
See, I haven't been down there.
Well, let's think of it, we haven't had any.
We haven't had a whole lot of snow this year.
We haven't had much, shouldn't be much.
No, but there's
on
snow on the roof now, isn't there?
Oh, yeah, there is,
it. Yeah, now,
but
but it's been leaking for
But it's been
weeks.
leaking for,
There may not be snow on the roof right now after Afternoon we had, it probably slid off.
We could have slid off.
Well, I'm passing on what I was
Yep.
told, so, and this Thursday, Friday, he's supposed to call Benji first.
Mm-hmm.
He talked to me about 5. He said he apologized and he'll take care of it, but the installer was supposed to show last week, but he didn't, so.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep on him, and Benji is too. We wanna get to the bottom of it.
Is it quite a leak?
Get it fixed.
It just, what I understand is you can see a straight line of water which leaks along a purlin.
Yeah.
Could be, yeah.
But I don't understand, because he and I talked, which it was way over my head. But if you put a lift up, and I guess you can can you make a slice in that white stuff, and you can see on
Yeah.
the backside if it's leaking?
Well, yeah, maybe who knows where it's coming from?
coming down,
Because
you
it
don't
could be
know really
coming, if it's
where.
between that insulation and the,
Could be
and
coming
the
anywhere
roof.
in
It
that
could be
roof.
coming,
from
it could be a
from
seam,
the
could be
seam
at the
down.
peak, could be.
Yeah, see, like I said, I don't, it's just one, and it's a faint line, Benji said, you can just, but it is a straight line, so it'll come off. the purlin.
Water will, you could have a leak over here and it'll come down over there,
That
just
shouldn't bother
follows.
it.
Snow load shouldn't really
whatever
bother it,
path it
no.
wants to.
Right.
So I don't think it's like, I imagine leak like bucket leak. It's not like that.
No, it's just noticeable leak.
Yeah, and the other thing is, we want to install some fans too, just to rule out the humidity factor. I don't think it's
Yep.
humidity, but, that's my personal opinion.
Yeah, Could
But
be.
we need to, we need to think about some fans, and we talked about that,
Mhm.
because we didn't have fans in the money, to take care of that, but.
Yeah, well, they probably need a couple fans in there. to
And
get rid of
the
that.
electrical quotes, I didn't send them out yet, but I will send them out and put it in the paper, and I'm planning on the 25th. That's what it says, it just
Oh.
didn't go in the paper. We're gonna do 2019 electrical plumbing
Oh,
again.
okay.
Yep. So that's that. And then let's go to the next one. We will drop down to personnel policy. I haven't finished yet. I told you 5 other towns that, I think we all say the same thing, just who says it in more paper. The mailer and the town report, I ran over Thursday morning and got it, took them to the post office. I believe they went out on Friday. The town reports, there's a box at the library, and Maureen has a box. It was 22 boxes altogether that I got. Benji has the rest of them, and the reason why Benji has the rest of them is because they do all the setup for
Oh, they'll
Tuesday.
take them over there.
So instead of bringing them from my vehicle up the stairs, in the front door, up the stairs, in and around to Maureen's office, Benji just has them stacked in his office down there, and he'll just put them all in the truck.
Yeah.
If we need more in between, he'll bring us a box.
Okay.
But the library has a box, and so does here.
Is there a box in the front entryway at all?
No, we didn't put it in the front entryway, because the kids end up taking them and throw them out. I'm not gonna,
No. Yeah, if
it's
you
not a
got,
coloring book.
Yeah.
The Meet the Candidates night we talked about is tomorrow night. Cable's gonna
Record it.
record it for later broadcasting.
Yep.
Public hearing, I've said it, and it was in this week's messenger, the 18th, which is Monday at 6:45. My next one is election coverage. Maureen asked me, and I sent out an email earlier today to get everybody's thoughts, or what are you covering? Jack has to stand outside, so we don't listen to Jack.
Okay.
I
I'll be
told her
there all
I'd be
day.
there first thing in the morning, whatever, 6:30, whatever she wants me.
January 6:30.
And I'd be there till the end of the day, except I have an appointment in the middle of the day. I gotta leave for a couple hours or so, and she knows that. I've already told her.
Okay,
So I'm pretty much all day.
okay.
Evening,
Ricky?
after work.
I'll be there at 6:30 a.m. until
The end of the
Whatever.
day,
yeah, the end of the day.
The end of the event.
9, 10 o'clock, whatever.
No, it won't be that long.
And you?
Let's hope
And
it's,
John?
You're stuck this time, buddy.
That's nice.
Johnny, you gonna be there
Oh,
at
he's
7
avoided
with
it.
us?
There's no sense 3 of us being there at 7 o'clock in the morning.
That's a meeting.
Well, maybe you could come when I have to
Well-
go out for an
Lunchtime?
appointment.
Yeah.
Maybe you could be there by
Somebody's
11
gotta-
and
Who's gonna stand by the ballot
Yeah, but somebody
box?
needs to stand by the
You
ballot
guys are gonna be
box,
checking
right?
people in and out. so
I'm gonna
unless
be
you-
doing that. She
You
asked me
are?
to do that.
Okay.
What, the ballot box?
Yeah.
Oh, take my job.
All you do is stand there and watch for a jam.
Yeah.
Paper jam.
And she'll
Oh,
know.
a jam, we're gonna jam?
Mm.
So John, would you like to come jam with Sherry?
Yeah, maybe, yeah,
So if you can come about 11?
11 o'clock-ish, a little before maybe. And then
Till
when I
8.
get back, if you don't want to
9,
stay.
10.
Okay.
It is what it
In
is.
the morning, not at night, John.
Yeah.
Not 11 at night now, John.
Oh,
'cause I'll be home sleeping.
Well, let me revise this.
Okay, so the next one you asked me for follow-up, which Alan Gould sent me an email, and I just kind of surmised. He got 13 candidates. The resumes were received. The candidates
Wow.
from 10 states, 3 from New Hampshire, 2 from Connecticut, and 1 from Illinois, Maryland, Tennessee, Massachusetts, Texas, Vermont, and Virginia.
Holy crapola, huh?
That's good
Of
selection.
of them, 4 have masters, 4 have bachelors, and 2 have associates. I'm not sure what the other 3 don't have.
No.
But some states you can work your way up and just have work experience.
Well, some of them, you know, they could have associate's degrees,
So,
but they probably have
he
police
said to me that,
administration and stuff like that.
The emails are currently being reviewed and ranked. I didn't put this all in yours. Essay questions will be distributed to the top tier candidates, and then they'll begin the preliminary background work in preparation for phone interviews. And it says, don't hesitate to contact him if you have questions. He'll keep us informed along the way, but that's where it stood. The deadline was Friday.
Well, it's good to see that many candidates,
Oh, that's
resumes.
Very good.
And also, too, I like the diversity of the states where they
Yeah.
came from. So it shows a good spread
Cross.
and a good
The ad said you
advertisement.
had to be willing to move, so.
And a good
We
advertisement.
can't
So-
supply a car if they live in Virginia now.
No, we're not doing that.
Or a two-person plane.
Yeah.
We don't have helicopters.
So I think that was okay. I was hoping for a little higher number, but
Really?
yeah, it was.
You thought that we'd get more than 13?
Well, considering one town that just closed got 37,
Oh, really?
Which town was
Yeah,
that?
but you're talking Salem?
Stratham. No,
Oh,
Salem.
Stratham.
Yeah, Salem, I only.
Even
I think it was
I
like
don't know
10 foot
anybody.
poles.
Stratham. They got 37 applicants.
Wow.
But Stratham's not far from Maine, it's not far from Mass.
It's up
Yeah.
through the coast.
It's
right
close to
there on the coast,
About the
so-
same size as us, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
Same size, but I
Stratham is
think
roughly the same,
location
it's
for
about
out of
10,000
state.
people.
Yeah.
well, we can hope for the best. I mean, I think that I was nice. It was nice to see. So the ad went places. It didn't just.
Oh, yeah,
stay
exactly.
in
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
on
Right.
Twitter.
Yeah.
He did a nice job
That's
advertising.
that's what I like to see. Yep.
Code enforcement, we should really have some sort of discussion, what our plan is, or are you gonna wait and see what you're gonna do?
Well, do we have any numbers at all? Like, do we need a full-time code enforcement officer, number one? Because,
You want my opinion, I've always said, this is the time that you take a look back at what the office needs.
but how many houses were built in Weare last year?
A lot. I mean, more than, I mean, it's gone back this way. It used to
Right,
be, it was
yeah.
down low.
For a long time.
For a long time, that one person, I mean, for a long time, remember, we had 2 people. And then building kind of went off, and then when we had the retirement, we didn't look at anything, we just combined the 2 and gave it to one person. So, and that worked for a while, and now we're just the other way, because you've seen the development down there. The one up on the hill here is gonna start shortly.
Yeah,
So
they got-
that's ramping back the other way as building is. So, I mean,
Well, I mean, I know that some of the smaller towns don't have full-time building.
I'm not looking for, I mean,
I mean, I know that.
I would tell you, I mean, I've already said what I think
I'm
we
just
need,
curious.
and
I'd
that's
like to
what-
have,
And I had a discussion with Chip on it. He even offered the same thing, that the building inspector could be part-time, and then have a full-time person to do land use and other stuff in the office. to
See, I was
take that
looking at-
position.
I was
So,
looking
to
at-
help Wendy,
Yeah,
and
it's
plus
almost
look
the
at
same thing.
and look at the land
but if you're
use.
gonna go to a part-time
But have the
building
code-
inspector,
the
Wendy's
building-
not gonna have as much work.
Oh, she's
No,
got a lot
Wendy's
of,
doing assessing.
she's doing,
Oh,
No,
yeah.
I
Was-
thought
Wendy
I
does
thought,
assessing and
they come
building right
in,
now.
they come
She's
in
doing
once,
both.
they come in once a week to,
But what does Laura do? Lauren? Yeah,
Lauren.
She
Lauren.
Lauren,
she works for Avatar.
Well, she comes in
Yeah, I know, but
every
she does
couple of weeks.
assessing.
Yeah, she comes in and like, you have to review your veterans, you have to review your elderly, you have to review, and somebody has to do that besides Wendy. And then she goes through all your current use. You have current use applications. There's things that are being picked up out on the field of things that are being put on properties that are in current use. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of investigative work that Wendy doesn't do here. They generate the letters, they generate everything else. They do their own input of the new buildings.
Right.
And they're doing a fifth every year of the evaluation.
And they put on all the deeds, and that was, wasn't that basically the deed
They put on all the
changeovers?
deeds. You have
Well,
to
they-
review them. You can't just plunk on one from another, because that's what Judy had found. When you transfer property, you have to make sure that they read the same, because it just ends up being a mess, and some of the
Oh,
deeds
yeah.
end up being a mess.
Yeah.
Um,
But doesn't Lauren do that? That's what I thought Lauren did too. She makes the changes.
I'm not sure that she does the deed part.
I think she does. I think she
I
does the
think she
changes.
does all the drawing on the cards.
Well, let's find out for sure what Lauren's actually doing. Let's get a
Yeah.
printout of what Lauren's doing.
Yeah,
I know, like, and I'd like to see what a 3-year look back look like, as far as building permits, how many new buildings are going up in town, what has gone up, and how many additions and stuff have been put
How
on.
many new subdivisions?
the subdivisions are there.
Yeah.
We haven't had new subdivisions in a long time. There's so
Okay,
many on
well.
paper that are crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
Because
they're not
back
doing
when I
anything.
used to do it, there was crazy.
Yeah, they're not,
Yeah,
they may be established, but they're not being built upon.
no, not right
So
now.
it would be really a reflection of just building
Just-
permits.
It's just Cortland, yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
it just,
Cortland Ave one at this
There's a
point.
few other new ones that have gone up too.
yeah,
because these
but a
were-
real reflection would be building permits
Building
rather than.
permits
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's a lot going on in zoning.
Yeah.
You know, you think about, I mean, how many people are coming, busting the door down to come here to Class 6 and private roads?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so there's a lot going on in zoning. I mean, it seems like zoning's been busier than planning
Yep.
Yeah.
with the in-law apartments and everything
Mhm.
The
else.
biggest thing with planning recently was Riverdale.
Yeah, that's the overlay you're talking about.
No, the biggest thing
Oh,
was
you
putting
mean-
that,
Oh, that
that
mess.
oil mill road project,
Oh.
and then that. and
Yeah,
then
because,
that's been one of
and
the
speaking with
biggest ones.
Alan at MRI does provide building inspectors. They
Yep.
provide a lot of, I spoke to somebody today, in some of the smaller towns, they actually have somebody there 2 days a week.
Yep.
And you know that going into it when you go to build. You go to building permit, they tell you, this is a day they're there. And so if you want your plan reviewed, you bring it in here. You know what I mean? So, I think it could be structured, and I think we could do a better job. But, I mean, I don't have a problem looking back for 3 years at the building permits.
Yeah, I'm just kind of curious, because I just was having a conversation the other day in a town, and they said that they only have 20 hours a week for the building
Is that,
enforcement officer, and only 24 hours a week for their secretary,
let me ask you this, so what town?
down next to us,
Which one?
New Boston.
Yeah,
And they had 60 houses put in last year.
Yeah, but they're not much more land to put any more houses.
yeah,
If their
And plus they-
building is done,
Hmm.
you know, if you
Yeah.
think about it, all of their,
pretty much.
you know, when I grew up there, I mean,
Yeah.
it
We-
was a
Oh,
booming
they'll-
little
they're
place.
gonna-
We still
They've
have,
got a lot of applications for this year already.
right.
Right, but I mean, once,
I don't know.
Once
I'm
a
not,
lot
I'm
of-
not saying that we can't restructure the position a little bit
I
and
think we should be open-minded about construction.
shuffle some hours around, but I think, you know, I hate to say it, but we still have the small town feel, but we're not a small town anymore.
I mean, you get some places,
You know, may have that feel, but we're not a small town anymore.
Yeah.
You look at the calls for service and for the PD and the
some
fire, and
places they have the
we're not a
building
small town
inspector
anymore.
or code enforcement, which could go, code enforcement goes with the fire department, the building inspector is something separate.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we
So-
have broken that off, though.
Yeah, but I'm saying
Before,
no.
when Bob, I mean.
Whenever it was here, he was doing
everyone
everything.
there, They did
Yeah.
everything. We didn't do
Yeah,
the mechanical, the fire didn't do the mechanical or nothing.
now they are.
No,
And now they're
well,
doing it.
some of the mechanical such as furnaces and stuff like that, they have to.
Right.
Who's
They
doing
do
the
it.
furnaces?
It's the fire department.
Fire department is
They're
now.
mandated to do it.
Fire department does the mechanicals.
Right. So, it is,
Is somebody actually trained that knows what's going on? Because if you remember correctly, we got signed off over at the Stone Building
Was that before Bob Vizina?
I'm not sure.
I think it was.
Yeah,
I don't know, all I'm
Yeah.
saying is.
I believe Zenick does
That
carry
all
it.
signed off, and we had 29 gas leaks, and I had headaches for, 2 years I complained about it?
Yeah, but I don't think that was him, though.
No, that
I
wasn't
don't
him.
know, I don't know
I
if
think
that
that
was
was,
at the.
I don't think that was Bob.
I don't think that was
'cause
Bob.
Bob's been 2011. He came in July of 11.
Yeah, it might have.
And I don't think he was doing them right out of the gate.
No, he only started doing that.
No, I'm not saying
Yeah,
him, I'm just saying
14.
that.
2014 they start doing them,
I think
maybe
in the
15?
last
think that's
probably
when-
3 or 4 years he's
Yeah.
been doing
Because
this.
Oh,
Yeah.
the regulations have changed on that.
Right.
At one point, you didn't have to
But if you recall too, he
be
asked
licensed
to
to put in a
speak to
gas
us
furnace,
when
unless you're in certain
we
areas.
discussed this.
I think you should have Wendy here, too.
Oh, absolutely.
I think we should have all parties.
I think
in
we
the
should have a
room.
work session for everybody involved. It's hard not to know what they're doing without having them here to say it.
Well, I
So-
think the other thing is, if you really want to truly know, is to have somebody come in that does that and just look at each job, and they can tell you very quickly if you have a professional person come in and do that, do a time study on this stuff. I mean, we had to have it done all the time. You got 500 people in a production area, and they do certain work, they do computer work, they do this, they do that, they transfer product, they bring product in. We do a time study, know exactly what we needed.
I would agree with that on a basis of a business.
Private
We're not a
sector.
business.
Right.
Well,
And-
we are.
Because
Yes, we
but
are.
We are
get-
a
but-
business.
Well, to a degree, you get, God only knows what walks through the door.
Yeah, and the
We've
other,
had to help somebody that lost their way home and wait for the police and everything else. There's a lot of things that you run into here that aren't run of the mill.
they're not straightforward. The other thing is too is how much does a service like that cost?
I don't know now. I wouldn't
Okay, I'm
have
just-
to
I don't
know.
know.
I don't know, but,
And
I
to,
mean,
to
if you
start from
save
Jump Street,
100,000 a year,
Probably call.
well, and
you
that's
surely could,
and that's
I'm not saying that's
Possible.
what's gonna happen,
No.
but I'm just saying.
No, I think we should, and that's why I've always said, is when somebody gets done, you're not, that's the time that you take a step back and look at, like you said, to look back at 3 years, to look to see where your biggest part of your work is versus just guessing.
Or
Right.
just turning around and giving somebody, oh, so-and-so's gone, we're
So-
gonna combine those jobs and give them 80 hours worth of work.
Well,
for
that, I mean,
Basically.
well,
what
that's
was
that's
going
my next
for
thing
40
is what if that study comes back and says, well, that's great what you got there now, but you need 2+ additional full timers. I'm just saying, what if that does happen?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, then where are we at? Putting 2 more full timers on? You
Well,
know?
we can't do it now, but we could probably do it
but-
again.
Yeah.
You'd have the,
Well, what I'm saying is, it's,
The
it's
backing
a
to
double-edged
do it.
sword.
They
It
open
could.
yourself up to a can of worms.
Exactly.
I mean, it's either way, but it's informational based, so.
Yep.
Right.
But, I mean, like I said, you're not gotta let somebody go, cause God
No.
only knows.
No.
But when somebody decides to move on,
Mm-hmm.
then that's our time to take a step back and look at things and see if we can be
More
more
efficient.
productive in one way or the other.
Yeah.
And I think you have enough funding.
Yeah.
I've looked at the numbers. You have enough funding to do, I think you'd be ahead of the game to do it the other way. But that's just my personal opinion. Just in the amount of pay and things like that. You'd be having a contractor that carries insurance versus another person to carry insurance. So, I mean, it's a great thing. I mean, I can ask for the last 3 years of building permits.
Yeah, I'm just curious, I don't have a clue, and I'm
Yeah, no,
curious about
she's-
that.
She's very busy. I mean, you gotta get a building permit for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Your deck, your this, your that, your,
Mm-hmm.
Additions.
what else does Chip do?
well, Chip does the land use stuff.
No, I know
when
he does
someone
land
comes
use,
in.
yeah.
That's planning and zoning.
He does plans.
He does,
all the zoning
he does,
minutes. Like, does, not the minutes, he
Not the
does all the
minutes, but he
scheduling
does
rather
all
for the.
of the abutters notice. He's his
Yep.
own secretary.
The letters
for
and the- yeah.
Yeah. And then he does the inspections. He does septic reviews prior to.
Septic.
Well, he has to,
He has to
that's part of
study,
your
he has to
building,
look
right?
at the building permits for new houses, for all the other things that come with it.
And some towns do some towns do the
Yeah.
septic, others leave it up to the state.
No, it comes here before it goes
I
to
know,
the
but
state,
sometimes
yeah.
they leave it,
He
say,
has to
no, go
review
to
it for
the state.
setbacks before it
this
goes
is
to
our
the state.
town.
Yeah.
Yeah, setbacks to our regulations.
Yep.
Yep.
So, we have to do that, we've got it in the regulations, so we have to do that.
I mean, that's off the top of my head. I mean, I
Yeah.
can gladly ask him, and
Well,
I
know
think
he's
it's a
gotta-
good, I think it's a good
Yeah.
thing.
He has to go to the hearings, he's interacting with the attorney constantly.
Yeah, definitely.
So what secretarial does Wendy do?
Wendy schedules his building permits inspections,
Okay.
and then
Schedules.
she answers all the questions for assessing. She takes care of every walk-in that comes through the door,
That's all.
even whether it's hers or not hers.
Because doesn't she get paid 20 and 20? I mean, that's what I'm asking about.
Yeah, but that was just a mechanism so that we didn't lose money on one end or the other.
Yeah, you split it.
I mean, that would, because you don't want to give up one position, you know, gotta fight tooth and nail to get it back.
Yeah, so
Right.
you got, what, half her pay comes from the building,
It's 2020.
Yeah,
and half, the other half
from
comes
assessing, right?
Assessing.
So-
Yes.
Yeah.
It's 20 assessing and 20 from him, but
And it used to be 40-30.
Yep.
See, nobody griped when we went down, but when they want to take it back, that's when it really,
Well, yeah.
everybody gripes.
Well, I mean, we're,
And when did we combine that position?
After Judy left.
When was that?
Judy retired.
When was that?
2010.
10, was it? 10?
We're coming up on 10 years
Coming up 10
Right.
years.
Yeah.
of change.
Right.
So,
And you don't
But
think that's got
remember,
more work?
Avatar took,
A lot of Judy's.
I'm not saying they
Most
didn't,
of it.
Well,
but the
what,
town has
once or twice a
significantly changed
month?
in 10 years.
they're doing stuff over there, they're not just coming over here twice.
Well, they get paid to do the
I
assessing.
mean,
and
how much are we paying them a year?
It's more than what we used to. I mean,
What do we
'Cause
pay
they took on
Avatar?
that added-
32,000 once a year?
Well,
No.
we budget for 80, don't we?
yeah, it's
what else?
80.
Because it's, we divide it into fifths. So it's
Okay,
1/5.
fifth, so they get,
So you don't have the $200,000 a year.
That they
and then
do
drop
the
it back
assessing,
down.
yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's, I think the best thing you do is put everybody in the room and talk about it.
Absolutely.
Bob
Yeah.
Vazina wanted to be part of it.
Right.
I think Wendy should be part of it too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, oh, yeah, she's,
I mean, maybe-
she's the one that affects the most.
Right.
and maybe just come in and have, I mean, I have no idea exactly what she's doing, so maybe for me, it'd be good to come in and just sit in there and see what she's doing during the day. Of course,
Her day's probably like
part of
mine
the
some
day.
days, when you get interrupted with a phone or walk-ins.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times they get walked in there when it's really not. They're looking for somebody else, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
just an interruption.
Yeah.
Or a phone call that's not yours, or just everything takes time, or, yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot more I think she'd like to do as far as the mapping, but I don't think you have to have some concentration there. You can't be, excuse me, every couple of
Mhm.
minutes when somebody wants you.
Yeah, devoted
Yeah.
time.
And
So
when you,
what
when
are
you
you
talk
saying with
about
the mapping?
mapping, you're
Is
talking
somebody-
about mapping what?
Well, she does well in GIS. There's some things that, she could do some overlays, there's some things that we could, it's just, she did work in a graphic,
Mhm.
you know.
So we don't have somebody come in anymore and do that onto the tax maps, or,
Nobody comes in, you ship it all to Littleton.
oh, okay,
She has to bundle it all together and send it to Littleton.
got it.
And then it has to be reviewed when it comes back. Make sure that everything got done and the numbers are correct and so you have to review the whole thing before she tells them to print it.
Mm-hmm.
How much do we pay for that service
The mapping,
Mm.
3,200.
a year?
Yeah, and we've refined that over the years, because when they went and digitized the zoning map, that was a disaster, because we took something that, we hoped would fit, and what it did is it brought colors of one zone half into another, and then someone said, oh, look at, half my property's commercial, I can do this.
Mm,
And it really
Oh.
wasn't, it's when you digitized everything, it didn't match.
didn't match up.
So it's taken us a lot of years to get everything to match the actual lot sizes and so that the zone follows the lot. But that's what happens when you go from paper to digital.
Right.
So that's taken a while for her to get all that straightened out too, so. So yeah, we can do the look back. I know next week is really focused on,
This,
Mm,
so next week's not an opportunity to do that. The 18th, I can have them come in on the 18th, but the 18th, you're gonna be with a public hearing on Milford Hall. 25th, we could do that, on the 25th, and just see if Wendy and Bob Vazina, and we can have a discussion on the 25th. That's not, a Fire Ward's night, so.
Yeah.
You know, we
I
can
like
talk
that.
about the 25th
Yeah, let's do the 25th.
as a work session, kind
Yep.
of a,
19th. We also got the 19th.
the 19th, yep.
Yep.
That's a whole separate night.
That's a lovely
That's all
time.
the fun.
That's a lovely time.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Okay, so, and then, we do the update, we did that. I have a non-public issue under C.
Yeah.
And I actually just have the, you guys waived interest on one.
Yep.
I gave you the half amount, this is the full amount,
Okay.
so that's what you're waiving from last week.
That's the woman.
Yep.
Yes, and that check we've gotten, so.
Okay. So that's put to bed.
Put to bed.
Okay.
Once you finish that, because the two will match and it goes to zero. So.
Perfect. That's what I like to hear.
And other than that, just like I said, under C, and it wouldn't be very long.
Okay. Any other business correspondence from the board? Yes, no, maybe? Okay. And I move to go into non-public under RSA 91A3, Roman numeral 2C.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And we'll be adjourning afterwards.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Night.